All right, Salam aleykoum wa Rahmatullah. Welcome back to everyone to How I Learned Arabic Stories. Now this one is a little bit of a tricky one because we actually recorded this interview before and we are re-recording it for you guys. So inshallah, I need you guys to pay attention because the second time that you do something is always better. That's my school of thought. This is my opinion.
Inshallah.
I don't know about yours. So yeah, welcome back. I'm with my brother Nuruddin Muhammad from the UK. So I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, and I'm gonna let you let people know who you are and what you do, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. My full name is Muhammad Nuruddin Al-Khalawi, but people usually know me as Nuruddin. I'm originally from the UK, from Cameroon, Central African country. I'm from a city called Douala. That's actually the economic capital of the country. Alhamdulillah, I've been living in the UK for like about 9-10 years now. I came in 2010, so yeah, about 9 years. Alhamdulillah, that's just a bit about myself. Wallahi alhamd.
Okay, alhamdulillah. So well, first of all, where did you learn Arabic, and how long did it take you to learn Arabic?
Where did I learn Arabic? In Birmingham, there's a place called the Mu'adh Center. The Mu'adh Center.
Okay.
I don't know what was happening at that time, but I think I was just looking for places to learn Arabic, and I was told, there was like an advertisement for Arabic classes there, so I just went there, and I registered. Wallahi alhamd. It took me about 3 years to complete the 3 Medina books.
Okay.
Book 1, book 2, book 3. Yeah.
Okay. So before learning the Arabic language, right? Before learning the Arabic language, but after you decided that you wanted to learn the Arabic language,
Okay.
what kept you up at night, like eyes open, staring at the ceiling?
So, like I said, being a young person coming from an African continent where 10 years ago the internet was not very easily accessible. You had to go to like cafes, to surf on the internet and go on social media and things like this. And social media was not even what it is today. So at that time, because we didn't have internet back then, moving to a European country where you have internet, at home, you have your router, and you can just go on the internet as you want. So I would just be on social media. Facebook was like very, very big at that time. Watching videos on YouTube and just surfing on the internet, and being a young person, you just waste time on that.
Yeah.
So that was what was kept me at night, just talking to friends, for example, back home, friends that I had. Chatting to them, talking to them, and just surfing the internet,
Right. Okay, so what was you afraid of? Like once you decided to, that you want to learn Arabic, and you found Mu'adh Center and these Arabic classes that were about to start or whatever, what was you afraid of, like starting out?
Starting to learn the Arabic language, I think, is a common thing to any person who wants to learn a foreign language to themselves. So, for example, being making mistakes while you're speaking, and being scared to be laughed at. So I think that's the biggest fear that many people will have about learning the foreign language. And also, for example, French, because I speak French as well and English. To learn a language that is similar to French, for example, Spanish or Italian, that's much more easier than learning, from French to Arabic. Or maybe if you're an English person or an English-speaking person, to learn a language like, let's say, Germany or German, that's a bit closer to English. So that there's this connection. But for you to move from a complete way, even the letters are not the same. The pronunciation, the words that don't even exist in French and English, to make that, that move is a bit, tricky, and you're a bit, anxious about it. So my biggest fear was making that move, and also being scared to be laughed at or to make these mistakes when you're learning the language.
Yeah, I kind of it comes to my mind like scenes of times where where I remember once my teacher, he said, what's the ayah? وَلَدَارُ الْآخِرَةَ هِيَ الْحَيَوَانِ.
Naam.
So
Okay.
my teacher asked us, okay, who knows what al-hayawan means in this ayah? So he
Okay.
asked me, and I'm super confident. I'm like, hayawan, يعني في الجنة ما في حيوان.
Ah!
And he's like, and then the whole class started laughing at me. So for those who don't understand the joke, is because hayawan is a word to that basically means life, like the eternal life kind of thing. So and hayawan at the same time it means animal.
Yeah,
but
animals,
but right now I can't think of. It's actually written the same. It's actually the same.
Yeah, I think it's hayawan. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
write it the
hayawan.
same. But if you put it in a context or another, it means something or it means something else. And the teacher asked, who knows what this is? And I was like, all confident. Animals. Yeah. It has to do something with animals in Jannah or something.
Yeah.
So what were you angry about? Not knowing Arabic, what were you angry about? And actually respond to this question by telling me the 3 daily frustrations that you had.
The 3 daily frustration that I had.
Not knowing Arabic.
Firstly, it will be, as I said, if when you start practicing Islam, for example, and you start getting close to the Deen, you want to learn more, you want to understand more of the Quran. So the first thing was about not being able to understand the text of Islam by yourself, so the Quran and Sunnah. So you've been very amazed when people are crying Taraweeh, for example, or people are crying in classes, or maybe in the khutbah, because they're speaking in Arabic and you don't understand it. Or someone understands a joke, or understands an expression which you don't, and you're baffled, like, what's going on? I didn't get that. So being able, not being able to understand the source of Islam, the Quran and Sunnah, that was one of them, that you wanted to understand it for yourself. Okay. The second thing I would say, not being able to understand the scholars. Okay, the scholars of Islam, where they're giving classes in Arabic and there's so much knowledge out there which you don't have the key to, because Arabic is actually the key to the scholars and to understanding and being a student of knowledge and excelling in that. So that was the second thing. And the third thing would be just perhaps day-to-day conversations and dialogues with people that learn that knew Arabic. For example, as well, going maybe in holidays when you go to Umrah or Hajj, and you get ripped off, or maybe when you go to Morocco or Egypt, and the guys just throw prices at you, and they might be speaking, him speaking to his colleague about increasing the price, but you don't know what ziyada means or naqs means, and you don't know what he's talking about. So maybe you have a guide who is like, in business with the merchant. He's telling him, okay, increase the price, so I get some of it. So if you clock that, you're like, oh yeah, guys, he's trying to rip me off. But if you can't understand the language, then you get ripped off very badly. So those were 3 reasons I would say. Those were 3 reasons I would say.
Sometimes that's what they test you, like knowing Arabic or not knowing Arabic. It could mean a big difference in what you should pay for something.
A big difference.
Because sometimes they'd be like, for example, in Egypt, they might just come next to you and be like, Salam aleykoum bikhair, and just expect to see what you're gonna say. Like, do you understand? Do you not understand? And when you be like, "Ana bikhair, kif halak bikhair anta?" masha, he'd be like,
he's like, "Oh yeah, that's a shit, man.
I can't rip him off." So that's crazy, man. Okay, would you say that you was angry at someone not knowing Arabic?
Now, everything I mentioned was I think pertaining to myself. That those were my own shortcomings. So being angry at someone else, I wouldn't really say that, because in Africa, or where I come from, we don't really have this zeal and this passion for learning Arabic, for example. So people don't really know that. So I can't really blame other people for it. I can only blame myself for not
No.
learning it sooner.
No, definitely. So, so from learning Arabic, what was this like secretly? What was the thing that you desired the most out of, the fact of you wanting to learn Arabic?
What secret desire the most? Again, connected to, I would say, the scholars. Because in the UK, we have, alhamdulillah, we have conferences going on. The scholars, from Saudi Arabia or Kuwait, they come sometimes for conferences and they give classes. So one of the things that I really wanted to do is being able to ask them my questions by myself, or quote unquote being in the class and the sheikh, he just says something in Arabic and you're like, yeah, I know it,
Yeah.
and Allah Musta'an, people can see you. They're like, oh yes, subhanallah, who's that young brother? He knows Arabic, and then people start talking to you at the end of class, like, what did you learn? How long did it take you? And you're like amazed. You see, black brother came to the UK and he learned Arabic. How is that? So people would sometimes assume that I knew Arabic from back home. Places like Senegal, for example, or Mali, where there's like that ilm. So they apply that same rule to other countries. When Cameroon is mainly a Christian country, so there's only 25% Muslims. So we don't have that connection to ilm. So when you tell them, no, I learned it here in the UK, I did 3 years, alhamdulillah, I can speak, you're like, oh, subhanallah, mashallah. So that was the secret kind of thing.
Yeah.
And as I said, being able to ask your questions to scholars, even if you have personal questions, questions that you don't want someone else to translate for you, you can just grab him and ask him a question. That was a yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that because it's true that a lot of like just in general in the West, brothers or sisters with African backgrounds, they are perceived like their success is perceived as he's African, that's normal.
Yeah, he's African, that's no problem. Not knowing that sometimes you put the work in yourself, and there's some countries in Africa that are not all like that. North Africa, West Africa, you have ilm there. Maybe East Africa as well, Somalia and these kind of places, you have ilm there. But when you go to sub-Saharan Africa, that's a bit more hard. Cameroon and when you're going down Congo and these places, Gabon, for example, there's less ilm there and there's more kufr and more non-Muslims.
It's funny because just before you, I was interviewing a sister, and the sister is like from the United States, but her parents are Nigerian, right? And she memorized Quran. So after the interview, I was talking to someone. I told the person about the sister, and she memorized Quran, and they directly asked me, "Oh, where is she from?" I said, "The United States." She was no, but she African, right? I was like, yeah. So like, if she has something like that, she gotta be African kind of thing.
Yeah, halas. Memorizing the Quran in the West, that's man.
Yeah. Okay, so for you, what was the turning point that made you say, okay, I need to learn Arabic now?
The turning point. Being a young brother who was trying to practice the deen, and you have to understand, my journey with the Arabic language is always connected to the deen, practicing the deen and ilm and the scholars, and it has that connection. I don't think if I didn't start practicing Islam in a more serious way, I don't think I would have learned Arabic. So the turning point for me was when I wanted to apply to the Islamic University of Medina. So and as you know, in Medina at the university they have a 2-year program, but then you want to be smarter basically. Not get there and not waste time or not take too long in the language program. Or even if you do go to the language program, you'll be the best of your class because you have some basics. And you can always focus on the classes in the masjid, sitting with scholars, memorizing Quran, memorizing Mutun, for example. So you have that advantage. Compared to a person who just went to the Jamia and started Arabic there and started learning Arabic there. You have that advantage, that you can just grab that. So that was the turning point for me when I was like, okay, I need to apply for the Jamia, I need to go and study, and I'm going to do this, but I need that advantage. And as you know, the scholars, they say you cannot you have to benefit from what is on the ground. You know, you have to, even the school of the hadith, for example, they will narrate and take hadith from the people that were in their cities before moving out to other scholars of other countries and cities. So I had to like get serious about it right now. And also, when you go to classes, you're always said, guys, you know, like our Ustad Abu Sama al-Dhahabi always says to us, guys, Arabic. The Arabic is the key. Arabic is the key. Learn Arabic. Enroll to an Arabic class and Quran class. These are the two things that he often advises, you know, us with. So, alhamdulillah, you know, we took that on board, and that was like, okay, I need to do this, and hopefully, you know, I have that advantage, you know, above many people that go to the Jamia, you know.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
So it was a little bit like gradually kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the method you used again?
We did the well-known Medina books. So you have to know, you know, the Medina books at the university are different from what we have here. Here we just have the book called دروس اللغة العربية لغير الناطقين بها.
Yeah.
So that's just one part of the actual curriculum that they go to in Medina. So we just call them here the Medina books. So there's the book 1, the book 2, and the book 3. So that's what I went through. We took about 2 years and a half to complete all those books. So that was the method. Now in the actual classes, the Sheikh will, for example, in book 1 there's a lot of vocab. There's a lot of vocabulary. So being tested about what is the name of this, what's the name of that in Arabic, chair, bed, pen, bag, and so on and so forth. And also you would have like small texts as well to analyze them, to extract all the vocabularies from them. And then you have some ground rules, you know, هذا ذلك, you know, and حرف jar, and these things in the text as well. So yeah, that was basically what we do. Now in the second book, there's even more of that. There's more vocab, there's more grammar, and in the third book, that's where, you know, you're basically the Arabic is very strong. Where you're going through, you know, verb forms, and you start, you know, analyzing essays and answering questions about the essay, about the text. I mean, and yeah, that was basically what.
So would you say that learning the Arabic language is important? The type of teacher that you have, or is it more important the book that you're learning?
I think it has to be a combination of both, and it has to be you have to check why you learn the Arabic language. So just to touch upon that, for example, mainly in the West, from my knowledge, people either do the Medina books or they do Al Arabiya Bayna Yadayk. Okay, so with the Medina books are more focused to a person who's trying to learn Arabic, to learn knowledge or to seek ilm.
Yeah.
That's what the Medina books are for, generally. Now, Al Arabiya Bayna Yadayk, there's more conversation, so that's more for a person who's learning Arabic as a language, you know, wanting to talk with people. But that's not the thing to the Medina book. So when you have that purpose, if you learn Arabic because of ilm, because you want to study Islam, then I think the Medina book will be very good. If you learn Arabic because you want to conversate, or go, you know, holidays and just get a little, you know, quick Arabic kind of thing. Learn the Arabic Bayna Yadayk. So I didn't learn Arabic Bayna Yadayk, but I don't know if they have like rules and things, this kind of thing in those books. But I was told that, you know, it's more for people who learn Arabic as a language rather than learn Arabic for the deen and, you know, that kind of thing. So that's for the book, and that's concerning the purpose that you have, why you learn Arabic. Secondly, you have to have a good teacher. You know, you have to get, and this is what we know from the scholars of the past and present, that you must have a good teacher. You know, because as you know, the teacher is going to affect you and affect your progress. You know, for me, for example, alhamdulillah, I had a very, very good teacher. I cannot even complain. Alhamdulillah, my teacher, and him as a person, he was different as well. So he's a revert from Brazil who went to the Islamic University. So a revert Brazilian man who went to the Jamia and actually studied with the author of the Medina books. So you
have the whole sanad.
Sheikh Rahman, he studied with him, you know. So and Sheikh Rahman is the one who actually made the Arabic program. Like he's the one who set up the Arabic program for the new students. So alhamdulillah, I have that very nice isnad,
No.
between me and the teacher and the one who made the Wallah alhamd. So I think and his method was very nice, Wallah alhamd. It was I'm very, very thankful to the person. And alhamdulillah, we're still in contact. Sometimes we speak. Yeah. So I would say it's a combination of the book, the teacher, and also your own efforts. Okay.
Yeah,
efforts.
definitely.
So the book can be nice. The book can be excellent. The teacher can be the best teacher you can ever have. But if you don't put your own work into it, and you can't really rip off, much of the fruits.
Definitely. So what was your feelings like, while learning Arabic from the first book to the second to the third? What was the feelings like?
Satisfaction, I would say. Satisfaction. Where you come to the point where alhamdulillah you don't need the subtitles anymore. You can grab many of the what is said in the books. You can open the book and get a grasp of it. You open the Quran and you're reading. Okay.
So satisfaction, that's at the end, right?
Say it again.
So the feeling of satisfaction is at the end, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say
Or
it's
in the
at the end.
beginning.
I think it's throughout your learning. It's in your process. So the more you learn, the more you find that you're improving. The more you open the Quran and you can read it and you can understand some of it. You can open books of hadith, for example, and read it. You can go on YouTube and you can pick on some word and some sentences, some benefits from the scholars, here and there. So the more you do it, the more you practice, the more you listen to it, then you just get carried away.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's how I would say the feeling of is satisfaction.
Okay, so how many aha moments do you guys have throughout the process? And I think I have been asking this to UK brothers, and it seems like they don't understand the saying, but I think it's an American saying. When they say a aha moment, it's like when you come across something, you be like, aha, like, so this is this or this is that. You know what I mean?
Aha moment. Okay, aha moment. Right now, the only thing I can think of is in the forms. So the verb form, for example. So in the book number 12 of the Arabic language books, the Medina books, at the end of the third book, that's where you start learning about verb forms. So my aha moment was more like when you discover how how words are derived from root words. So you're like, so you say for example la'ib or la'iba, like to play, and you say maybe mal'ab, you're like, subhanallah, that's where it comes from, or maybe dhahaba, madhhab, dhihab, these connections that that every single word in Arabic language goes back to a root word where you extract it from and you make other things. So for example, in the Arabic language, I think there's this rule of every, like, if you have a verb, to make a place out of it. For example, sajada. Okay, sajada, the verb to make sujood, for example. Now you have masjid. You have a meme. So that meme basically denotes a place. So many words that have meme in front of them, they're for places. Mal'ab, masjid, mustashfa, matar, mustawsaf, and other places like this. So when you start grabbing these rules about, subhanallah, when it's this meme, it could be a place. So this was like my aha moment,
I know what you mean now.
And even the other way around, where you're told a word and you basically track it backwards to the root word of it. So
and now you understand the meaning.
Exactly. So these connections as well between the words, that's what makes the Arabic language rich and beautiful. That's for me personally.
This is why experts, they say that the Arabic language is so easy to learn, because every time you learn a word on average, you know the meaning of 60 more words. So for example, if you learn the meaning of la'iba, you now pretty much understand lu'ba, mal'ab, tala'ub, you know, and all of these words that comes from the root. So this is why, subhanAllah, this was one of my aha moments as well. Like once I understood this, that you have it, and this was when our teacher started to teach us how to look for, how to use the Arabic to Arabic dictionary, you know, and to look for the roots of the words and everything. So once I found out this, I was like, okay, so everything is about memorizing root words, basically. You know, all the verbs with three letters, basically.
3 letters. Yeah.
So that's amazing. Like, every time, like me teaching the Arabic language, I'll be like, subhanAllah, this is crazy. Every time I record a lesson or something, I'll be like, subhanAllah.
Yeah.
But so aha moments. All right. So what was the main books that you had on a daily basis? That you always had with you, or the books that always served you throughout your learning of the Arabic language.
Honestly, I would say, you know, even though Allah blessed me with learning the Arabic, you know, like that, I would say I was a very, very lazy learner, very lazy learner. So the teacher will always say things like, get your vocab on point, memorize the vocab, but I would never do it. I would never really memorize the words like that, and that's why even today, I'm still very weak in my vocab. You know, I don't, you know, not learning a lot of words, because at the end of the day, learning the language is all about learning the words. The more words you have, the more you can swap them around, the more you can use them. So I didn't really have a book that I would just study the book that, you know, we had in the classes, and that was it. That was all I would do. You know, extra work and this kind of thing. I was like, no, I don't want extra work. I don't want to do it. And that was enough for me. You know, for other people, they have to like put the work in. They have to like, you know, revise all the time, do the homework, do this, do that. But alhamdulillah, I was at the top of my class with alhamd, without even making that much effort. You know, and. So I don't really have a book like that.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna do like Mufti said to you. I'm gonna fry you. I'm gonna fry you right now, because when you were saying, you know, like me, what I've learned is Arabiya bin Adik. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So when you were saying, like, you know, I have been told that Arabiya bin Adik is more like for people who, you know, who just looking for a conversation.
Okay.
But in reality, Arabiya bin Adik. Why do I think it's the best method of learning a language? Is because you actually learning the language. And I think with you know, with my little experience that I have seen different programs, and my wife having graduated, the first American Western graduating from Al Institute, which is the known institute in Egypt. I have seen that, you know, it's so nice, so known and everything. But sometimes the most simple things are the things that work the best. You know what I mean? So Al-Arabiya bin Adik is good, and I think it serves the purpose of learning the Arabic language, because you actually learn the Arabic language. You know, the lessons are like, you know, by subjects. For example, sakan and al-usra wal. You know, mashrab wa akl and stuff like that.
Parts,
So you actually learn the language, you know what I'm saying? And for me, from the experience that I have, as you know, I speak French myself, but it's a learned language. Like I have actually learned, and English as well is a learned language as well. And even a few days ago, I was talking to my wife, and I hear my children. Obviously, my children take the knowledge from my wife. My wife, she's English speaking native, but myself is learned. So there's many words that my children say that I don't even know. You know what I mean? But that doesn't remove the fact that I am fluent in Arabic. You know what I mean?
I see.
So why is that? Is because I actually learned the language by daily vocabulary kind of thing. You know what I mean? So this is why I think that when brothers go ahead and learn books, like, because there is many marakis in, for example, Al-Ibana or Al-Furqan and books like Al-Madina and stuff like this, they have this methodology of learning the language for for the deen, but in reality it's no learning the language on a deen context, because you cannot learn a language and start learning like like what words in fiqh, for example, and words in the kutub of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah and stuff like this. You don't learn the language like that, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to fry you there and and refute your.
To be honest, I can I understand that, but you have to remember the Arabic books of Medina are different here. The ones that we have here, and I don't know if I said it before, but the ones that we have here is just one part of the actual Arabic program. You see, so I think maybe the Al-Arabiya it combines all of them. But the thing is, the books that we have is only about is only the grammar part, grammar part. Then you have hiwar, and you have kitaba and tahadduth and these kind of things, and other parts of the Arabic language of the book. But that's in Medina though. In the UK, we don't really have that. We only have the parts about the grammar. So those parts are missing. If we had that, Medina would be much better than Al-Arabiya.
Nah, I don't believe that as well, and I'm a refute you right now with factual facts, because in Egypt we had brothers from Medina University coming in summertime to better their Arabic, coming from Medina University.
Coming to learn Benedict.
No. and they were super surprised about like the level of like 1 year in Arabic, and you will see the interview with the sister that I did before. She studied 6 months Arabiya Benedict, and we were conversing. Salam aleykoum, you know what I mean? So I think, and I will stick to my opinion, that Arabiya Benedict is way better. And another fact as well is that in Egypt they are just known for knowing how to teach the غير الناطقين بالعربية يعني. No. And just in general, even Al-Azhar, in Al-Azhar, when I was in Kulliyat Sharia, in Al-Azhar, I went to do Umrah, and I was, I was invited by one of the brothers of Medina University to sleep in his room and stuff, and he was showing me he was on his 3rd year of Kulliyat al-Hadith, and he showed me what were they doing, and I was on my first year of Kulliyat al-Sharia, not even takhassus fil Hadith, and the things that I was doing on my first year is the same thing he was doing on his 3rd year of Kulliyat al-Hadith. Man. So shout out to Egypt and the teachers in Egypt and their methods. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so right now this is a new thing that I have been doing with these interviews that I started with the sister actually. For those who are watching right now, if you didn't see that interview, go back and see it. But I would like for people to rate in the comments from 1 to 10, our level of conversation in Arabic. So the next question that I'm going to ask you is going to be in Arabic. طيب, so إن شاء الله سؤال سهل الجواب. وأنا أظن أنكم في مركز معاذ هذا ما درستم إلا في فصل جماعي، ولكن السؤال هو هل تفضل الدروس خاصة أو الدروس في جماعة؟
والله أخي حقيقة سألني أحد الإخوة هذه السؤال، وقلت له أنا أفضل الدراسة بالجماعة. عرفت؟ لأن أن تكون مع المدرس فقط، هذا ما تعلمت هكذا، هذا ليس طريقنا. عرفت؟ أظن أن الأفضل أن تكون مع الجماعة وتحدث معهم ومع المدرس، وتناقش بينك وبينهم، فأفضل هذا الجماعة. وأنا عارف أن في مصر بعض الناس أو بعض الغربيين يفضلون الأحد أنت مع المدرس فقط، فأنا لا أحب هذا فأفضل بالجماعة الطلاب معك. هذا الطريق
Alhamdulillah. طيب, so now let me ask you, rate your Arabic conversational skills from 1 to 10 without being humble.
For me,
Yeah.
myself, without being humble, I would say an 8.
Tricky
7,
question,
8.
right? Everyone says
Yeah.
8, subhanAllah.
Yeah, I would say 7 and 8. Yeah.
No.
And like I said, my vocab is still very weak. My vocab is not really there.
Yeah.
And as you said, that's the thing with learning the Medina books, because in Arabiya Benedict, and I'm gonna agree with that. Although I'm biased. The Medina book, yeah, you have a lot of vocab. You learn how to have the hiwar and this kind of thing. So that's one of the strong things that Benedict has. Which I didn't learn, that way. But alhamdulillah, at the end of the day, I think my conversational Arabic, it just came from just listening to the Arabic language and just, and just listening to scholars and catching up words from the Quran, for example, and kind of thing. So the more you read Arabic, you listen to Arabic, there's some words that you're gonna catch up. Anyway, so I will give you a 7 or 8. As I said, alhamdulillah, it's very easy for me to go to the scholar and ask him my question and ask him, mas'ala, this kind of things, and to understand what he says.
It's pretty easy to go to Shamsi and say, "Ya Shamsi, ta'ala sallim ala shaykh." No, it's that. Tayyib, so what do you think it was the hardest thing the hardest part of learning Arabic?
The hardest part of learning Arabic. I would say, it would depend. It would depend, because learning the Arabic language has different sections to it, if I may say. There's the speaking part, the writing part, the reading part, and then there's a conversation as well.
Right.
So speaking, So that's the hardest part. I think it would be learning the grammar. Okay, learning the grammar of the Arabic. How to when is the word majroor and maksur and marfu and this kind of thing. So basically i'rab. So I would say i'rab is like the chunk of it. Now we're not even getting into balagha and this kind of thing. That's something else. I'm talking about basic i'rab. So, and I think this is how we learn the Arabic in the West. People don't usually go into balagha and shi'ar and this kind of thing. Because it's just another level.
Yeah.
So I think the hardest part for me was the Arab.
No. That's like the math of the Arabic language.
Yeah. So, but and even then, it comes with riyada. It comes with practicing again and again. You just get a grab of it. Arab was definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So, how of an impact has had learning the Arabic language now that you have it, and how is your life different?
Again, all connected to you being able to understand the Quran even better, to understand the hadith even better. Going back to the sources, the actual sources, no translation, independency. You being your own man. You don't have to, constantly attend English classes, for example. You can always go back to the class yourself, check what they said. Without no translation. Not that translation are bad. Some people need translation. Some people are always going to need translation. But you just have to be independent. You just have to okay, I want to know what does Allah say here? Why is He saying this? What was before it? The hadith. What does it mean by that? What the Prophet said here? What the scholars said by themselves? What are the the explanations they gave to this text? And you can always be up yourself. So I think the major impact was being independent. Just being independent and not relying on other people for my own journey about learning.
Yeah, that's something that is a true blessing, because for people, for example, who, I don't know, they might have old parents, they might not be able to travel or whatever it might be, they can just go into, as we were talking before, durus. They have durus live from Al Medina, or even big playlist of, I don't know, Sharh Sunnah lil Sheikh Ibn Taymiyyah, for example, and you just go through it
always,
and study at home.
is the key. As long as you have the key, you have that miftah, khalas, that's it, done. You can start your own studies. You can move on your own pace. You know.
Definitely.
You don't have to rely on you know.
Yeah.
That's basically, man.
طيب, so what would be your last advice for the person that knows and acknowledges the importance of learning the Arabic language, and he wants to learn it basically, but like we said, there is always a time frame in between you knowing and acknowledging the importance of learning until you actually decide to find something actively to start learning. So for the person who's in that particular situation, what would you advise them?
So the first thing I'm going to say is you have to recognize the importance of the Arabic language, because if you don't know the importance of something, you cannot go into it. And you have to remember the statements of the Sahaba and the scholars of the past. For example, Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, what did he say? He said, "Ta'allamu al-Arabiyya fa innaha min dinikum." Learn Arabic because it's from your deen. It's intertwined with your deen. The revelation came into Arabic. He's also said that the language of the people of Jannah is going to be Arabic. So when you listen to these things, the Prophet ﷺ, he was given the Jawab al-Kalim. He was very eloquent in the Arabic language. So when you know about the importance of the Arabic language, that is going to help you. And for example, I heard this thing about that Imam Malik at the time of Imam Malik, they will refuse and be very, very hard on a person who spoke a different language in the masjid than Arabic. They had to speak Arabic in the masjid. So they were scared that someone else come outside and speak Persian or Roman, the Roman language in the masjid. Because of this, that's the sacredness of the masjid. They were only allowed Arabic in the masjid. And I think that could be an opinion of one of the the Maliki school or something like that. Allah Alam, that in a masjid you only speak Arabic. Check this, for example. Some people could say the khutbah can only be in Arabic. So that again shows you that the Arabic language does have an impact. It has a dramatic effect. For the scholars of fiqh to say the khutbah, which is the main gathering of the Muslim, in the week, that it can only be in Arabic. You have to understand from it that the Arabic language is up there. That's recognize the importance that the Arabic language has. That the Arabic language has, in the deen. And even if it was a non-Muslim, for example, I think it's the same thing. So this for a Muslim, a non-Muslim learning the Arabic language, again, it opened doors for you. We all know right now in the world, the Arab countries, there's dough there, there's money there. So for you to have this kind of contact there as well, the Arabic language, and as the people of the past, non-Muslims of the past, for them to have the keys to enter the Arab lands and learn mathematics and physics and these sciences, they had to learn the Arabic language because everything was in Arabic. So Muslims and non-Muslims, practicing and non-practicing, you have to understand that the Arabic language is just something that is rich. It's rich, and other languages are much more poor. The Arabic language is غنية جدا. As for the other language, no doubt about it. Recognize the importance of the language first of all. Second thing is, I would say get a good teacher. And this is what our sensei Mufti Muhammad Al Money, he always tells. He always says it. Get a good teacher. You have to have a good teacher. Someone that's mentor you and check your process. That's going to be dedicated. Not even dedicated, but they will give you time and they will encourage you to study. So, and they have to be qualified, not just any teacher, a qualified teacher, someone who learned the Arabic language themselves, and they will process. They can tell you the mistake they did, so you don't do them as well, So getting a good teacher, and for yourself, just do it. Just start doing it, and just go for it. You're always going to make mistakes. You are going to be laughed at. You're going to make very, very ugly mistakes in the language. But what can you do? You learn the language, Another thing I would say is learn the Arabic language just as a child learns Arabic. I'm talking about an Arabic speaking child, the way they learn Arabic. And how do they do it? They learn poems, and as I told you last time, I said, look at this. If you go on YouTube, there's this very nice song. When I saw it, I was amazed. It was nice. The letters are, alifun aranak yajri yal'ab ya'kul jaza kayla yat'ab, so on and so forth. So these are the songs that little children will listen to know the words, and a word that starts with alif or ba or ta. They will listen to these things. When we're not talking about listening to, I don't know, mad music in Arabic or rapping in Arabic. That's what we're talking about. Simple rhymes, if you want. Rhymes about the Arabic language, and just go step by step. You can't just jump into Ajrumiya and big books of the language. You have to recognize that in the Arabic language, you're a baby.
Yeah.
You're a little child in the Arabic language. You might be a grown woman with a beard and whatever, but in learn this language, the Arabic or any other language, you're a child.
Yeah.
And this is how a child learns the Arabic language, or any other language. Rhymes, little songs, watching cartoons if you want. That's very beneficial. Watching cartoons or watching the news, for example, and just picking up on these small words and practicing as well. As they say, practice makes perfect, man. You can't learn the Arabic language and you never speak Arabic. You never try to speak it. You're always scared. You have to practice it day to day, these words, and just repeating them, so on and so forth. So those would be my main advice for a person. And also get a good dictionary, very nice. Yeah, you have to have a good dictionary. And I personally would advise anyone to get the Hansvia dictionary of modern Arabic.
Show us the dictionary real quick if you have it around.
Wait, let me check. Let me take it. This is definitely my this is the dictionary. I call it the dictionary, not just the dictionary. So that's the name. The Hanziya Dictionary of Modern Arabic, modern Arabic, modern written Arabic. So I would definitely say this is the best dictionary for me. And again, because it goes back to learning the Arabic language through root words, root words. And I think that's what the basic is. Where when you know the root word, it tells you something about the root word, and then it derives, it goes into derivations about, as we said, when there's a meme before it is a place, when there's this letter added to it, there's this, and when there's that letter added to it, the form changes, and so on and so forth. So I would say this is the best. For me, this is the best of the
Hansware.
They say Hansvia. You're read like a German, akhi. Hansvia. It is W-E-R.
Hansvia.
Yeah, Hansvia. So this is the dictionary that I would advise anyone to get. But again, it's not for everyone. So a person might be scared to learn Arabic with the root words because it's hard. But to be honest, it's very easy. It's very, very easy. So get a good dictionary and learn your vocab. That's the mistake I did. Make sure you pack up. Make sure you have thousands of words. Make sure if you can memorize a dictionary. This is not a dictionary that people will use. For example, I don't know what the word is. I forgot the word. But this is not a conventional. Yeah, this is not a conventional dictionary. In conventional dictionaries, you see the word in Arabic, just in English or from English to Arabic. Here is the root word. So get a simpler dictionary that's a bit simple. Even if you want to memorize the whole dictionary, this means that means that you memorize those words entirely. You're as long as your vocab is tight and strong, you're never going to be out of words to use. So that's the thing.
Yeah. It was reported to me by a brother. His name was Saeed. He was French. He studied here in Mauritania, and he told me this like in 2013. And he told me about a woman in the village where he was studying who memorized the whole Lisanul Arab.
Check this out.
Since that day, subhanAllah, I just remember right now, since that day I was like, oh my God, I want to go to Mauritania, man. I want to go to Mauritania.
Lisan al-Arab is an encyclopedia. Is a whoa.
That's crazy.
If you remember, and Lisan al-Arab is not. It's not even like a. That's the dictionary of someone who's very high in Arabic. You know,
Yeah.
words that people don't even use nowadays. Words
Yeah.
that you're not going to find people using nowadays.
No,
You find them in Arab. So that's why it says that's the actual name of the book. Lisanul Arab, and the tongue of the Arabs, the language, the actual language of the Arabs. You know. Yeah. So get a good dictionary and do your vocab. Just pack as many words as you can. That would be my advice.
طيب alhamdulillah. So we got to the end of this interview. We ran out of time. It's actually about to be iftar in like 3 minutes here.
3 minutes? Oh, yeah. We still have 15 minutes here, bro. Alhamdulillah.
You still have how much? 30 minutes?
Yeah, about 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, 15, 20 minutes. Okay, alhamdulillah. So yeah, thank you to everyone for tuning in and watching. And as you guys know, I have an online program to learn Arabic. You can check it down below. The study case that I've named how I went fluent in Arabic in 10 months with one single book and 1 hour per day. So you guys can check that out in the description below. In the description below as well, you will find the YouTube channel of the brother Nuruddin, and all the links basically where you can find him. So Barakallah Fikoum, wa sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.